Guess who's back? It's your girls.
I know we've been missed.
Welcome to Hood Healing. This is Lidia with a Y.
I'm Lidia with the Y.
And we are back after a month's long hiatus.
We're on vacation.
We wish we were on. Well, actually, I am going on vacation next week, but we took some time off to rejuvenate. It sounds like we're robots. To rest and relax. And we had a very busy last few weeks, which we're going to talk about. But we are revamping. This is season 2 of Hood Healing. Yay!
You should have a little clapping.
I know. I don't know why we don't have that, but I think there is a little clapping that we could do here. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but anyways, the clapping noise. We are celebrating our 2nd season. Yay!
Shout out to everybody who has listened to us, reached out to us, has posted us, has shown us love.
Yeah, and has listened, because we've had over 1,000 listens to this podcast, which is amazing. So this has been, I think, something that we kind of started and we're like, well, let's just see where it goes. And we've been enjoying all of the wonderful support. Today we are wearing t-shirts that were made for us with our logo.
That's right. Shout out to your homegirl.
To my BFF Sonia, who got these t-shirts made. And we're going to take a picture on our Instagram and our TikTok, and we will tag her friend who made these for us, because it's pretty awesome.
Everybody's asking for the merch, so hopefully that comes out next year.
We need to find the time to do that, because let me tell you, it's been pretty busy for us on a lot of different levels, not just this one, but just in general. So without further ado, what have you been up to, ma'am?
Been relaxing at home. So for those of you guys that have me on Instagram, you guys saw we revealed who is carrying, and it is me. Big news shocker for a lot of people who reached out to me. They were like, what the fuck? But I'm happy. I mean, it's been a pretty chill pregnancy. No morning sickness, nothing like that. And I'm at home resting, so that's pretty cool. No stress or anything like that.
Yeah.
It gets kind of lonely here in these 4 walls, but other than that, I mean, I've been pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we've been kind of like housewives of garden. We'll be like, let's go have lunch. Let's go have get coffee in the mornings. Well, not really coffee for you, but half coffees, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty. I think you've been pretty lucky to have like such a chill pregnancy, because I feel like your pregnancy has been so smooth, despite your intense craving.
I know.
It's for In-N-Out and Joe's Italian Ice.
I think that's the only thing that I've craved was In-N-Out all the time. And I apologize to my partner who hates In-N-Out now. In-N-Out, guava ice cream, and a lot of Joe's. That's it.
And we haven't minded that, actually, because I really love Joe's Italian Ice, and I also love In-N-Out. So we've been along for the ride. So that's great. And then you had your baby shower.
Yes,
y'all had your baby shower.
That was a success. I think. Shout out to Susie. She brought her vision to life, and we've been getting a lot of compliments that it was really nice. My grandma said it was beautiful. All the flowers that we had, the decorations. My grandma really liked it. And for me, my biggest critic is my grandma. I don't really give a shit about what anybody else says, but my grandma. And I went to go have breakfast with her the other day, and she said everything looked beautiful. She said it was really elegant. The flowers were very nice, and she knew right away who was the one who was designed.
Whose artistic touch that was.
Yeah, she knew it was Susie. So shout out to her. She literally got everything together. The flowers, the round tables, which is something different that we've never done, that looked really nice. The umbrellas. Shout out to my friend Perla's cousin who decorated for us. That looked really nice. My sister Honda too. She did her magic. And Maribel, shout out to Maribel.
Poor Maribel. She thought she was really going to be chilling here from Chicago, and she was put to work every single day.
Maribel helped out with the flower arrangements. Vero, you and Frank helped set up. Liz, you can't forget Liz. Evie, she helped too. Dee Dee, she heard me vent the whole way to Costco that morning. She kept telling me, you need to calm down, you need to be fine, like everything's gonna be okay. It just felt kind of kind of stressful, although I wasn't really doing much, but I felt helpless, like just sitting there, you know what I mean? But
really, it's really meant for you all to enjoy, to be able to like really enjoy celebrating your baby. And it was really nice. I think, first of all, they got a shitload of gifts.
Yeah, a lot. Like, our living room literally looks like a fucking
baby store.
Like, you want to come and look at some outfits? We got a lot of diapers, a lot of
very cute clothes.
A lot of nice,
a lot of nice stuff.
So our baby, really she's loved already, which is very nice.
That's great. Yeah, so good food, good treats. Everybody kind of chipped in and brought stuff. So definitely, I think my advice to you guys was like, let people help.
Yeah. And honestly, like, there's a few people that we need to thank too, like Crystal Merlin, like they helped us too, a lot actually. So shout out to them. Susie's cousins, Lucy and Liz, Evie's mother-in-law, she made a cake. That shit was really good. She helped out with pasta.
Don't forget about Rachel.
And Rachel, yeah. My mom, shout out to my mom. She made some hot sauce that was burning everybody's asses. Some rice, my tia Kena, Guille, Susie's mom, Vero, Honda for sweets, you and Frank for bringing Joe's. Everybody was excited about that. Liz fucking killed it. She made 50 choco flans. Shout out to her.
Dang, girl.
Let's see what else. Who else am I? Dee Dee helped out a lot too. Let me see. I don't want to forget anyone because then I feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Just shout out to everyone who helped us out. A lot of people helped us out. Caesar helped out a lot too, and Giselle. Rosa with her artistic cricket stuff. Shout out to Rosa. And I hope if I forgot someone, I'm sorry, but shout out to you guys for helping us out.
Send us a DM. Just kidding.
No, but it was really nice. Like everything was nice. Everybody who came was everyone who we wanted here. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really nice. We did get a lot of, thanks for the invite, sick ass invite. I thought we were close, and it has nothing to do with us not being close or not.
Again,
us not wanting you guys here. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we're about to bring a child into this world, you know what I'm saying? And we just wanted something intimate, something small, and that's exactly what we had. And it was nice.
Yeah. Which, if you're Mexican, means like 60.
Yeah. For Susie, I feel like she thought that the day went by really fast. The night, I felt like it was eternity, dude. Like I kept asking for the time, and it's like, I would ask her the time, and it was like,
why now, motherfucker's still in my house?
So the baby shower started at what, 4:30 or 4?
4.
It started at 4, and it was just welcoming everyone, giving everybody hugs, thanking them for coming. And I asked for the time. I had asked what time is it? They said it's 5. I was like, 5? What the fuck? And then again, we're walking around, trying to show love to everyone that was here, going table to table, to talk. And then I asked for the time again. I remember my mom was like, it's 7:15.
And you were like, God damn.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? I thought it was like fucking 8 something already, or 9. But it was nice. I had a lot of fun. It was nice. And it was nice to see a lot of people that I haven't seen as far as coworkers. Because I was put out of work early, so it was nice to see them here, be able to talk to them and enjoy them. So that was nice.
It was really, it was nice to meet like some of those people from your other world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it turned out very nice. But yeah, it was just a long, busy day, like just up and down. And as your MC of the festivities, it felt like people really were having a good time, especially the games. Although you really see like how fucking competitive people are. You're like, damn, homie, is this a fucking baby shower? This ain't the Super Bowl.
I know.
Some people are really getting mad and stuff.
Yeah, I know Susie's family is competitive, and you know damn well that our family is very,
y'all
very
really need to calm down now.
Competitive. So that was interesting. I ended up walking away after the whole, measuring my stomach. I was like,
you're like, I'm out.
I'm out, dude. Like, I was like, no, like. And then opening the presents and all that stuff. Like, there was so many gifts.
Can we stop doing that? Because, I mean, no tea, no shade, but I was like, damn, are they still opening damn gifts? I
turned around and looked at Susie, and I can just tell that she was like...
She was done.
Getting anxiety. Like, she's like looking at me like, I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but it was a lot of nice gifts. And then the next morning, her family was still out here from out of town. So... Yeah. We're looking at gifts, and it's just a lot of cute clothes. Like, she's gonna be rocking some nice gear.
She's gonna be rocking that little jean jacket.
Yeah, they got her little bell bottoms and stuff like that.
I should have got her like a little leather jacket.
And
I haven't found one yet. I'm gonna get her one, and I'll wear mine too. We'll be twins.
I'm also looking forward to her wearing the Baby Who Stole Christmas. I think it is.
Oh, the little Grinch
outfit. I can do a little photo shoot with that. But yeah, it was nice. I had a lot of fun.
I'm like, it's only a couple of months, and then she's gonna be here, and it's so crazy to me. Like, all this time, all this energy, like that you guys have spent to have a baby, and like it's finally here.
I know. It's going by fast too.
It is.
Honestly, when and I get asked a lot on Instagram, and I feel like it's, I don't know. I think maybe because we've been through so much, I think a lot of the questions that I get asked, I know people don't mean it in a bad way, but I feel like sometimes it's like, bro, like take a step back and think if the question you're asking is like appropriate. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like I never thought it would be you. Like where was that out of? Or what did you like? How did that happen? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or like, I would never in a million years thought it was like, I understand that, you know what I'm saying? But
well, I mean, I think where it comes from is like this place of really, it's like misogyny, where people are like, only feminine women would want to be pregnant or can be pregnant.
And to me, honestly, like, Lydia, the thing is that we've been through this for 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been 6 years of us trying to have a baby. And I love Susie with all my heart. This is who I want to be with for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to, help out, like when you're in a relationship, it's a partner thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's 50-50, you know what I mean? And seeing her go through everything that she went through after the miscarriage, like, and her trying again and stuff like that, like, it was hard, you know what I mean? So I literally, every drive to work for me is where I sit and think, and I thought to myself, like, dude, 9 months will go by fast. Did I ever, when I was small, like, a lot of girls are like, oh, I want like big old wedding. I want to have a baby. Like, that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? But I sat in my car and I literally thought to myself, like, dude, 9 months will go by fast. A big belly that will go away. If not, then you can work for it to go away. Like, how bad can it possibly be? You know what I'm saying? So I told Susie, like, I'll go next. You know what I'm saying? Like, it came out of me. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people who are also asking, like, oh, like, how did Susie convince you? Like, motherfucker, like, no one had to convince me. Like, it came out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I decided to want to carry, and And I'm happy that I did, because honestly, to feel the baby kick is something so special. Like, honestly, like I always tell Susie, like I talk to her, like it's a girl. Because if you guys didn't know, it's a girl. Like I'll talk to her when it's just me at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just to feel her kick is something so special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do I regret it? No. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, well, you don't regret it because you don't have those morning sickness. And even if I did, like, I'm sure I wouldn't. Once she's here, it'll all be worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and the other thing is, like, it is a privilege to carry a baby, because like not everybody can, and to like have that experience of like actually feeling your baby and going through everything, like that's actually a really wonderful experience, even when you have like the negative side effects of it. I had a really high risk pregnancy, but I don't think I've ever said like, oh, I had a terrible pregnancy. Like, I actually really loved being pregnant, and I was only able to be pregnant once, and that's the way it was. But I'm really thankful that I even got that one opportunity, because we thought it was going to be 0.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I've been asked like questions about the fertility doctor and stuff like that, and honestly, like if you've been told that you can't conceive, like, I think that you should keep your options open. You know what I'm saying? I think I've said this before on another podcast. Keep your options open. And honestly, this doctor that we went to, if we do decide to go again, or which we are, you know what I'm saying? But it's just trying to figure out who's going to go next again. I think I'm too much of a pussy to go back and do it again. I think I'm so scared. Everything scares me. Everything scares me. Like every weird feeling in my body. Like I literally have to always, if it's not you, I'm asking, it's fucking Monica. Like I'll reach out to Monica. Like I'll call Honda. Like Honda for sure. Like my sister, like I was blowing her up, dude. Like I feel this. Like, is this normal? She's like, yes, it's normal. Like, you literally have a child growing inside of you. She
also had twins, so she like even more probably has felt some of these things.
Yeah, like
I can't even imagine that.
When we got back from Disneyland, like I fucking messaged her and I said, dude, like I sent her a snap taking off my hat, and I said, dude, hats off to you, man. Like you carry 2 little girls inside of you. Like I'm carrying one, and like sometimes I feel like, oh, like I feel so heavy, you know what I mean? Like I feel like my tummy feels like super heavy.
You're gonna have to go to school. Beep beep.
I mean, but I even told Susie, like, I want to go to Disneyland in October. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the belt, the tummy belt,
that helped out a lot. Are you going to paint your stomach like a pumpkin and take a picture?
There's no what Caesar Giselle just asked that yesterday. So we bought the dogs Halloween costumes, and they're pumpkins. So Susie was like, wouldn't it be cute if we painted your stomach and then sat Sully and Sophie next to you? And I was like, no.
Girl, please don't do that. I don't know if I can be friends anymore if you fucking did that.
Hey, what? Halloween's around the corner, so I've been looking at some costumes. There's a lot of good costumes I have in mind.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes, though. But yeah, this pregnancy has been pretty chill.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that.
That's good. I'm glad. And we're all excited to meet the baby, and we'll have the baby on the podcast.
I know.
It's going to be
We're going to buy that chair. That chair we saw at IKEA.
Which one?
The chair that Frank pointed out.
Oh my gosh. It was like a little armchair. It looked like that it would be in a library or something.
Yeah, we're going to put that.
She's going to be like real cool over here on the podcast in her little chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's such a wonderful experience to be pregnant. Like, even like I had a little bit of morning sickness when I was pregnant. And I remember I had to go to Vegas because like my best friend got married. Like I was about 4 months pregnant when she got married. So I was like barely coming in out of my first trimester when we went to Vegas. And the day we got back, I started bleeding. I had to go to the emergency room, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I get for being up in the clubs.
You were at a club?
I was at a club.
How many months were you?
I was almost like, so I was like 3 months, but I started showing very early because I had like really high amniotic fluid. So like I was always very big when I was pregnant. But I remember I was in the club, and this guy was like, comes up behind me and is like totally freaking me. And then I turn around and he sees my little stomach and he's like, ew. I was like, fucker.
You fucking asshole.
Yeah. And then I was like, fuck you, motherfucker. I was so pissed. But,
Should have thrown up on him.
So that was kind of scary because when I went to the emergency room, they're like, "You're probably having a miscarriage." And now we know because like of like Mateo's whole dwarfism stuff, like that probably was what was happening. But you know, he hung in there, and here he is, almost 18 years later,
chilling.
But I just remember, like, for the most part, like, you know, we had a lot of doctor's appointments because like they told us everything was very high risk, whatever. But for me physically, like I was fine. Like I was still going everywhere and, you know, doing everything. Like I felt good. I was still going to work. And, I just remember at the time was like a social worker in home for, you know, like babies. So I would go hold babies like all day long, and I was pregnant, and a lot of the moms were like, you know, so excited because, you know, some of these families I'd been with for like a year or two, and they were just excited that I was pregnant. I don't know. It's kind of funny how excited other people get when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
I think it's just like this idea of, you know, having like this life, you know, that you're bringing into the world. And I remember very clearly that I sat down on the couch, and this little girl, she was so cute. I was like, "Hi, you know, hi mamas." And she's like, comes over to me and she fucking slaps me in the face.
Oh shit.
Whack. And the mom's like, "Oh my God." The mom was like totally freaking out. She was a toddler. So that's pretty typical. They're like, they choose violence like every day.
What the hell? That's scary.
Dude, some of those toddlers, man, they really be off the hook. But it was funny because the mom was so embarrassed. I was like, "It's okay. Like, I know this is normal what she was doing." But oh my goodness, sorry. I think they tell you like if you're having a girl,
I never understood that one.
It was like if you're having a girl, then little girls won't want to be with you. But if you're having a boy, I don't know how that works.
I don't know, but when I held Johnny's little girl at Tia Rosa's house at one time, she did not want to be with me. She was like, "No, was it Johnny's or was it Paula's little girl?" I think it was Paula's little girl. No, when I held her, she didn't want to be with me.
She started crying right away.
Yeah. I don't know, but
she liked me. She's like, "You're one of me."
I don't know, but when we went to go visit Maribel's aunt, I was holding Maribel's cousin's baby, and my baby started freaking kicking. Like,
oh, she's like, "You better put that other baby down, homie."
She started kicking.
I'm the only one. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's like now she's getting more active.
Yeah, she is.
And
I can literally stomps on my bladder, dude. Like,
boom, boom.
I told Susie, like, when I say she stomps on my bladder, like, I'm being serious. Like, she literally stomps on my bladder. Like, I think the only thing that I have not been been a fan of being pregnant is how many times I pee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At night. Like, I'm literally comfortable and then boom. Come back.
Put on Depends and pee in your diaper.
No, I'm okay.
Well, just get an astronaut diaper.
No, okay. I'll just get up and go pee. I swear, even Sully looks at me like, "What the fuck?" Like, he's like,
"Bitch is getting up again."
They really. It's funny because the dogs really look like, "What the hell?" Like,
can you imagine how they're going to be when this baby's here? They're going to be like,
I think Sully's going to be a jerk. I think he's not going to care, and I think Sophie's her barking better get better. We're selling her. Just kidding.
I feel like she's going to be the most protective.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Sully's in his own world. Like, he don't give a shit. Fucking chicken.
Yeah. And so now you and Susie are going to be going into this like journey of motherhood. What do you think your parenting styles are going to be like?
We were talking about that the other day with Haley. Haley's like, "I feel like you're going to be more strict than Susie." And I feel like I'm not. I don't know. I feel like we're both probably going to be chill. Susie's like, "I'm going to let her walk around barefoot. Like, I'm going to let her, like, I'm not going to be that parent that's running behind with the hand sanitizer." And, you know, she's like, although, like, there's nothing wrong with those type of parents, you know what I'm saying? But she's like, my mom, I think her grandma always said, "Let them run loose. Like, let them do whatever they want," type of thing, you know?
Yeah. Like, let them have experiences. Yeah. I think that, because I think I totally see that in her. Like, I feel like she's like what they call like a free range parent, where it's like, let these kids have these experiences. And we were kind of like that, you know, like definitely where I was like, okay, have your experiences, but I'll explain to you like why certain things are dangerous. And like Mateo just got it. We never baby proof the house. I'd be like, that's not safe because that can make you sick or that could hurt your body. You know, like if you explain stuff to kids, like they get it. Even when they're little, they understand, you know? And I think the way Frank and I differ, and we still do, is yes, I get anxious as a mom. Like when my child, like, where did he go? He went to the beach this weekend.
On fire and shit.
Yes. And I was so anxious about it because I was like, oh my gosh, like this kid, you know, I just worry because, you know, physically he has some challenges just with like his stuff that he has. Like he has a skeletal disorder. And so I always like want to make sure like he's not like overexerting himself because, you know, it's hard for him. And the whole next day he was like just out, like he was tired. You know, remember he was like,
he's going to be tired this weekend.
I know.
For sure. Because if he's going more nights. Tonight, actually.
We were supposed to go on a hike on Saturday morning.
Good luck with that.
It's not going to happen.
I said, so.
Maybe Sunday we'll go for a hike. We'll go do our hike on Sunday. But, you know, I'm trying to encourage him to move his body more so that he can build up his endurance. Because he's not that kind of kid. Like, this is a child that, you know, like, he played t-ball. Yeah. And there was a kid who really wanted to play it, and it was his turn to play because you had to like rotate kids in and out. He's like, no, you can go ahead and play for me. He was like, I'll be chilling on this bench. But you know, but I just felt very anxious. Like, I just hope this kid is like not going in the water because he's also struggles. Like, he's not the strongest swimmer. And I saw like the little phone, I was tracking his phone, you know, and I saw it go in the, like where the ocean was. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like texting, like, please be careful. You know, how's it going? Hope you're having a good time. That's like the balance. He's like, yeah, everything's great. And then when he got home, he's like, Mom, I just want to let you know that when you text me, you know, be safe. Hope everything's going well. Actually,
there was a fire.
These kids, I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like when I was his age, like definitely I'm the oldest, you know, I'm the oldest child. So when I was 17, like I was responsible. Like I was definitely like what they call parentified. Yeah. Parentified. I don't know how to say that word, but like when your parents rely on you to do things that really are their job, you know, and because, you know, my parents were like in this really dysfunctional relationship, my mom like leaned in on me a lot to do things. Like I remember as soon as I learned how to drive, she'd be like, can you go to the store for me? Can you go pay this bill for me? There I was going to pay like the light bill and stuff and going to drop off this and that and picking up my sisters from practice. So I just think about the fact that this child has not ever had to be responsible for anything but himself. And, you know, like some of the chores in the house that we ask him to do, but it's like so crazy to me that like he's really enjoying his youth.
Yeah. And that's cool. That's cool to see how much he is enjoying it now. Cause I remember when we first started hanging out with you guys, like he was kind of like in his room by himself, didn't want to go anywhere. Like he would get invited to places, and now out and about.
This kid's like, peace, I'm out.
What was that concert he went to or show that he went to in Santa Ana the other day? Fucking, it was like at 9:00 or something like that.
Picture show, man.
I was like, what?
This kid was really living his best life over there and saying like, oh my God, what did he say? He's like, oh, there's this part that, you know, that they say this stuff. And he was like, I can't really say it because it's bad words. And I was like, I've heard you cussing with your friends. Like, I'm not going to be tripping about that kind of stuff. And he was like, yeah, they were yelling at the slut because it's like Rocky Horror Picture Show. I guess this is part of it. I've never been to one where they do the live like actors and stuff, but I guess that's what they do. And I was just like, oh my gosh. But you know, he's really enjoying himself. But again, like I had a very strict mom. My dad was like, I don't care what you guys do. Yeah. I think that was a little bit of a problem because we had one parent that was like so controlling and strict, and we had one that was like, I don't give a fuck what you do. And I feel like it's very confusing when you're the child, because you're like, well, like, we knew that if my dad said yes, we had to ask my mom too, because she was the one that was like the authority in the
final
house.
Decision.
And so, you know, I remember like one time I went somewhere, my dad told me I could go. I was out, and this is before cell phones. And I got home and my mom was really mad and I got in trouble. And I was like, well, Dad said I could. And I remember her saying like, well, you need to ask me. I'm the one that decides. And it was more about like my mom was actually active. Like she knew what was going on. He had no idea because he was just so far removed from us emotionally that he wasn't really like, he didn't know what was happening. Yeah. He didn't know what was going on. But I think it's funny because I think it's different now. Like he's very much, I think he's trying to really make up for lost time. You know, like he really wants to be there. He wants to help us do stuff around the house. You know, he wants to like really be involved with the kids, which is nice. But he definitely was like, whatever you want to do until I got a boyfriend. And you know, it's so funny. My mom was actually the one that was chill about it. Like my mom definitely was like, you need to protect yourself because I don't want you to get pregnant. But my dad was literally like, he cannot come in this house. And I was shocked by that. Because my dad was always like, whatever. And then I swear to God, as soon as this guy comes to the house, he's like, he cannot be in my house. So we would be sitting on my porch talking to each other, you know. And my mom was like, just be home by 11 and just make sure you're not, like, you're protecting yourself.
Damn, she gave you
And Dale was like, fuck that. You better not even touch my daughter. It was just a total 180.
That's crazy. I think I'm going to be protective of the baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for sure not be strict, because my dad was strict. It sucked. Like, I remember like hanging out with like Maribel and Susan and everybody, and we would go to the block. And as soon as we would get there, he would be texting like, what time are you coming home? Or my mom would be calling. You know what I mean? Like, your dad's asking what time you're going to get home. So I feel like he was real strict, and she was just going with it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But even Susie will tell you, like, I remember we would be having a good time, or we'd be hanging out at her house and stuff, and they'd be calling me, like, literally blowing me up. So as far as like being lenient once the baby gets older, then but also I feel like I'll be protective because of what I went through, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't want anyone to hurt the baby. Even now, like with like Haley and stuff like that, or like Mike, like I'll be like, you know, you need to make sure that you're being careful when you're out there and stuff like that, you know. Like I'll even tell Honda, like, make sure that you talk to the girls, like, and Damien, you know what I mean? Like, you can't trust anybody, like, not even family, you know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest fear that I have, like, making sure that no one hurts the baby or anything like that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also like a balance of, I think it's unfortunate because you had those experiences young, and they told you like on many different levels, like that the world isn't a safe place for you. And I think that's why you get scared of a lot of stuff, because there's never, like, you got that message so early, and it's really, I mean, and I think a lot of like Mexican families do that. They'll go, oh, if you're not, I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about that story that we told you about when we went to JCPenney. And that Mexican mom was like, you better behave or that man's going to take you. She fucking points at Frank and Frank's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just trying to find some fucking t-shirts here.
He's so funny because he was so offended too. And I remember I was fucking with him.
He was.
And I was fucking with him, and I told him that when the baby's here, I'm going to tell the baby, if you don't stop it, that man's going to eat you. And he's like, fuck you, that's fucked up.
And he was like so upset about it. And I'm like, if she only knew this man, she would. But she was yelling at her kids so loud.
And she was pointing at Frank.
Yeah. She's like, that man's going to take you. And I was like, what the fuck, lady? This is my husband over here.
That's funny.
But anyways, you know, we tell, like, it's like we scare kids all the time. And I've really tried not to do that with my own child. And that's what Susie
told me. She's like, because she's heard, like, in my family, like, I beat a Chucky, or or, you know, even in La Llorona, or the man with the horse face, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Man with the horse face.
like stuff like that, you know, so you're like, like none of that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And I know that now, you know what I mean? But I used to do that too. Like if you don't hurry up, check is gonna, or La Llorona and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I think that's like every Hispanic family. Like that's how you grew up. Fucking, they scare the shit out of you. You know,
man. They try to traumatize your ass, and then we're all fucking scared of everything.
Well, except for us, because we grew up with my mom fucking showing horror movies.
Oh shit!
At a young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're not scared of that shit. But I mean, other kids,
still,
you know,
when I think when you threaten kids to behave, you're not really teaching them like how to be responsible for their own behavior. Yeah. You're just you're like policing them, so they never like really learn how to like act right, you know. Yeah. And I think when we're always like, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take away this, like, you know, it's hard. It's a hard balance, you know. I mean, what we try to do is say like, okay, if you make this decision, this is the consequence, and we have to follow through with it to know that this child is like, what, like we mean serious business. Like, hey, you know, you didn't finish this, so we're not going to go here after all. Yeah. And I think that that's something that, what was I going to say? I think that that's kind of something that, you know, we try to balance so that I'm not making my child afraid, because I feel like there's so many things that happen that my child actually is afraid. I don't have to add to it, you know? But, you know, I also think, how do we not project our own fears onto our children as parents? And that's like an important part of healing, you know, like, actually, I am creating a safe world for my child. And, you know, like kind of going back to what you were saying about just, you know, you don't want anyone to hurt your child. When we teach children that their body is their own, when we teach them that they don't have to obey every adult in their life, that they can speak out for themselves, that their voices are heard and that their voices are valid, then they learn how to stick up for themselves. Yeah. They'll say like, I don't want to do that. You can't do that to me. I'm going to tell somebody. But when we're taught all the time, like you have to respect your, you know, your family member, you have to do what they say without question, then it sets kids up for thinking like, I have to do this, or I don't have power to say no. I think that's the hard thing. Yeah.
Well, like, I know exactly what you mean, because when my dad's brother was doing what he was doing, like, I remember he would say, like, if you say something, he literally drove me to an alley where there was like a bunch of drunk guys and stuff like that. And he said, if you say anything, then these guys will kill your mom and your brother. You know what I'm saying? And I told Susie that was the fear that I held with me for a long time. Like, I don't want my mom to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my brother to die. You know what I mean? Because at that time, me and my brother, it was like my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just hearing an adult tell you that, like, now as an adult, I'm like, why the fuck would I even listen to him? Like he wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But as a kid, like, he would, like, on a snap of a finger, like, they'll go and kill your mom and your brother. You know, or they're going to go kill your, you know, they're going to go hurt your grandma and your grandpa. Do you want that? And I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, when he's, you know, when he has the capacity to hurt you, then you have no doubt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, if you can do this to me, I don't doubt that you could do that to the people that I love. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, but I get what you mean. Like,
well, and now as an adult, you kind of like know that you have your own power.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, like, going to therapy has helped me a lot. Like, this last session that I had, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like going to therapy is going to help me a lot raising our child. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Susie has her ways, you know, what she grew up, you know, and then I have mine, you know what I mean? But I feel like I'm for sure going to do things that I've learned, you know, like from my family. But a lot of it, too, is like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? And it's all everything I learn in therapy, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much that you learn about yourself, about your family, you know, like, and I'm happy that I'm still going because it's really gonna help me, like, a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps you like start to model these really positive behaviors like you want to see your child doing.
Yeah.
And, like speaking up for yourself and, being able to manage your feelings around just like all your family dynamics, which I mean, even I feel like you were starting already on this road of like really healing yourself even before you started your therapy. But I've noticed like it's really accelerated since you've done that. And I mean, I'll tell you, like 2 years ago when you guys, like when you got married, I know there was like all that stuff going on with just like how you guys got married and how people reacted to it and stuff like that. And I think about you then and I think about you now, and not that you're a different person, because I feel like you're definitely the same person you've always been, but I do feel like that pain is a lot less. Like it's not there.
Oh yeah,
it's not,
for sure.
It's not sitting there like it used to.
Like there's a few important people that didn't show up to the baby shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that if it was me back then, like I would have been so freaking hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have been like so hurt, and like, and as soon as I heard they weren't gonna make it or whatever, like I was okay with it. I was like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, people grow apart. You know what I'm saying? Like people grow apart and, they don't put in effort. Like, I mean, it's like, if you don't put effort into trying to spend time with me, then I'm not going to do that with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, one specific person that didn't show up, like I even told Susie, like, that was the last straw for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if that would have been, if he wouldn't have showed up, you know what I'm saying? Like a couple years ago before therapy, I would have been crying. I would have been like, calling him, asking him why didn't you come? And now it's like, to me, it's like, you obviously don't give a fuck about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't give a fuck about me, about my child. You don't care about my wife. You have just proven to me that you don't care about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I told Susie, but if it was me back then, for sure I would have been crying, and for sure I would have called and said, hey, why didn't you show up? You know what I'm saying? Like I needed you here, but I don't need you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need him anymore. I haven't needed him for years. He's never been there for me, like before. So it's whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just sucks because, like, like as a parent, you should be there for your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, obviously it was my pops, you know what I mean? Like him not showing up was, to me, it said a lot about him, and I'm not trying to talk down to him or say he's a horrible father, because I give him props. He's a good dad to my other siblings. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's never been there for me. So I don't expect better from him. You know what I mean? Just to me, it just says a lot about you for not showing up. To the people around me who saw that you weren't here, like, it sucks when your own, like, one of my friends had to ask me, like, hey, like, well, where's your dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, I'm not going to be like I was before, making up excuses for him, like, it's like, I don't know, he didn't show up. Like, he just didn't show up. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like I told my uncle, I told him, you know what, to me, my child will have many people to fill the void of a grandparent, of an uncle, of an aunt, of whatever, I'm saying, like anyone who is not trying to be a part of my life now that I'm pregnant, then don't try to fucking be a part of my life once the baby's here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that goes for everybody.
Well,
like,
even before, I mean, I think that's the other part. I mean, it's unfortunate because I think sometimes when you become a parent, if you've not had the model to adjust your parenting to your individual children, because, your family there's 5 children with different personalities, different needs. And I think sometimes like it's easy for parents when, they have children that aren't gonna like have different needs or, don't demand different ways of their time. And I think the fact that, you're somebody that like, you want your parents to show up in a different way maybe than your other siblings do. I think sometimes when parents are challenged by that, they just completely shut down. And this is not, I'm not making an excuse for like all that stuff or what happened, but I think it's an explanation of, like how there's different relationships between parents who may not have the ability to adjust their parenting styles to their different kids. Like, I think about my mom, my dad is pretty good about it. Like he's getting better at just showing up for all of us in different ways. But I see that he really struggles with connecting, like with my like with Lynette. Like I see that. But my mom, I think she struggles with me. So we have a hard time because it's just like a lot of history and stuff behind that. But her and Lynette are very close. And some of that just has to do with like historically what was going on between my parents, like in their marriage when she was born, like some stuff happened. And so she's very close with my mom. Like I remember like when I was really struggling with my mom, just like when I started with therapy and I was like, you really did some fucked up shit to me. And she was just like, nope, there's nothing wrong with me. I mean, that was the short of it. I remember I was like, you need to go to therapy. And she's like, you're the one that needs to be in therapy, not me. And I was like, girl.
Yeah.
And Lynette was like, you're so mean to her. Why are you like that? And I'm like, I'm angry with her.
And that's the thing I feel like, unless you've been through what I've been through, like you can't sit there and say like, for example, like I said, this was the last straw, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been done, but this is like, I'm done type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And to hear other people's input on me being done is like, you can't be done. Like, that's your dad. No, I'm done. Like, I'm literally done. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've thankfully been blessed with people that I can say they've been a father figure for me. For example, my tío Mando, you know what I'm saying? Like, he showed up. You know what I mean? Like, he literally showed up, gave me a hug, reminded me that my child will always have a grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Like, my tía Kena, like, she hugged me. She told me, like, anything you guys ever need, like, I'm the grandma. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom showed up and she, of course, I think my mom has showed up for me a lot more now. You know what I'm saying? Like, than she did before. And when people say, well, maybe later on you'll build a relationship with people that are, I'm missing out. No, sometimes it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for my pops, I feel like it's too late. Like, even if he tries to build a relationship, I'm not going to stop him from seeing my baby if he wants to see my baby, but the relationship is done. Like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have other people that can fill that void as a grandpa,
Yeah.
But
Dale.
Yeah, even like Dale, you know what I'm saying? Like my tía Esperanza has been there for us throughout the whole pregnancy. Like, she literally will ask every single time, how are you guys doing? Do you need anything? Like, how's baby? And it sucks because the people that you wish would be asking, like, how's the baby? How are you? Like, they're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And that really sucks, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think therapy has helped me a lot, to be okay with just being like, well, if you don't ask about the baby, then don't ask about the baby once the baby's here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that is the hard thing. Cause I think like even all of a sudden when people come around when you're pregnant, cause it's like, that's interesting. Like, you've had a lot of opportunities to connect with me. And now that I'm carrying a baby who's really cute, well, that baby grows up.
Yeah.
And from my own experience, there was people who really wanted to be like, treated me like shit. Once I got pregnant, was like all up in my shit again, like wanted to connect. And once my baby got to be older, was like, oh, well, fuck you. Peace out,
Yeah.
And then was like that with my child.
See, and I think that me seeing you guys, like seeing what you guys are going through and seeing how these people do not even reach out to Mateo, like, it's like, I don't want my baby to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm sure Mateo's okay not having these people around, or who knows? We don't know what he's feeling, maybe he feels bad and he just doesn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what Mateo's feeling, but I don't want to put my child through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why when I see you guys and, you know, what you guys are going through, like, I even tell Susie, like, fuck that. Like, my child's not going to feel like they're second best. They're not going to be put to the side. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want my child to feel what I've been feeling my whole life.
I think that, if I think I pushed a lot of, and I feel very guilty about this, but pushed like a lot of my own child's needs aside in regards to keeping those relationships going.
Yeah.
Like, there was shit that happened that I was like, this is really fucked up. Like, you're, treating my child differently, or like, I will never forget, like, one Christmas, it was like, well, your child got less gifts because this other child doesn't have a grandma that spoils him, like, spoils them, like, your child gets spoiled. And saying that in front of my child, and then me having to go home and explain that, like, I should have said something. My husband should have said something.
Yeah.
But I think we were trying to just keep the peace because there had been so much, like, shit happen before we even had him. And so then, like, we were finally, like, reconnected, and there was a lot of shit that we put up with in the treatment of our child. Like, some of the stuff I'm like, that unfortunately we just found out about recently, because he did tell us, and I was like, how the fuck are you going to treat a kid like that? Like, have your problem with me, whatever it is, but how the fuck are you going to treat a child like that, especially one that is your family? Like, that's an innocent child that has nothing to do with anything. So the fact that, you're trying to make a child feel bad, like, that says some, go to therapy, girl.
I'm letting that
go
happen.
to therapy. And I think that's like a regret that I have, is like that I did not step up sooner. Like, I should have done that and been like, listen, you may not have the courage to do this, but I do, and I need to do it. But, I mean, obviously I didn't want to make things like complicated for my husband. I understood the relationship he had and how much he valued that. It would have been easy for me to just be like, fuck y'all. But for him, I understood that. But, when it came down to the fact that we were starting to be like, that's not okay. I remember there was an incident where Mateo got blamed for something that he didn't even do. And this was like a reoccurring thing that was going on. And Mateo wasn't the only kid being blamed for shit and getting in trouble for it. And finally, Frank said something like, I'm sick of you always blaming him for stuff that he's not even doing, or just like, just stupid shit, but you're not disciplining the other child. So like, that's not fair. And, it kind of got to a point where we were like, just don't interact anymore because we don't want to deal with that. But, it took many years for that to happen. And I'm like, I just don't want, like, that would really piss me. I would be fuming. Like, why is my kid has never had any issues, like, would play with all the other kids in the family and have no problem. So I don't know. But it definitely, when it's your child, it definitely hurts more when someone's like,
yeah, see, I'm not going to I don't want it to get to that. I don't want it to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Where my child is going to feel what I felt, you know what I'm saying? Cause I know what it feels like. I felt it my whole fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I'm tired of trying to be the peacemaker. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of being the one to be the nice person and just, sweep shit under the carpet. You know what I mean? Like, pretend like everything's okay. Yeah. Like, yeah. I'm done. Like, no more. You know what I'm saying? And, I always say, like, I love my dad. That's my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my mom. That's my mom. I love my brothers and my sisters. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone. It's just, I'm just trying to, like, let, if they're listening to the podcast, like, I'm just trying to let them know, like, you cannot sit there and you cannot tell me to, let it go, or you can't say, hey, just, it's not even like that. Like, it is like that. Like, it's been like that for, I'm not even going to say how old I am. I'm just kidding. But
25.
But it's been there. It's been like that for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't like when people say, well, I think you're just being sensitive, or, I think that, that's not what it's like. Like, you don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And unless you're in my shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, feeling what I'm feeling, then you can't judge.
Well,
You
that's
can't
like
judge me.
invalidating your experience, and
Yeah.
it's invalidating your feelings, and those are all valid.
That's why I feel like when it comes to Frank, like, I feel like me and him have so much in common, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know what he's been through when he was little or whatever, you know what I mean? But now as an adult, like, I see all the bullshit that he's going through, you know what I'm saying? Like, how he feels, and it really sucks, you know what I mean? Because it sucks, but it feels nice to be able to talk to someone who has gone through or is going through the same shit that I'm going through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me how as a parent, you can't call your child every day like you call your other kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you not check up on your child? Like, how do you, and I'm not talking about Frank before people try to come at me or try to come for me, that I don't know what's going on with Frank's family or anything like that. Like, I know what I see, you know what I mean? But I'm talking for myself. Like, as a parent, like, I see Gia call Susie every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, it's like, how do you not check up on me every day, knowing that I'm pregnant, knowing that, it can be, it's high risk or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you not call me every day and say, hey, how are you feeling? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, my sisters.
You got a geriatric pregnancy.
Yeah. Like, my sisters, I think, check up on me more than my own parents, you know what I'm saying? And that really sucks. Like, it just sucks because it's like, well, you don't even know. How do you know I didn't even have the baby already? Well, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, but you know what I mean? Like, how do you know that I'm not at the hospital right now? Or that something happened to me, or that I fell, or knock on wood, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watch my steps, but you know what I'm saying? But like, just shit like that. Like, how do you not check up on your child?
Yeah.
And that goes for any parent who is like, I don't know, like, honestly, like, I see my tia Kena, dude, and how much she loves her kids. Like, she literally rides for her kids. Tio Mando literally rides for his kids. Like, they are literally
ride or dies for their kids.
Like, no fucking lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, it just sucks because we used to have that. You know what I mean? When we were small, like, we used to have that, and it's gone now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I think it's so hard because sometimes parents may not have that connection to that child, but I do think, like, in a way, and I'm not speaking about your parents at all, because I don't think this is the case, but in some cases, I think the silent treatment is a way to punish.
Yeah.
And I think in some people's case, like, I'm gonna pretty much what the silent treatment does is give the child the message that you don't exist anymore. You don't exist to me. You're not important to me. I don't love you, which is really sad and unfortunate. And, even when Frank and I are, like, disciplining Mateo and stuff like that, which thankfully we don't have to do too much because this kid's has been a pretty good kid. But I always tell him, like, don't give him the silent treatment, because you're telling him you don't exist to me right now. And anytime you make me mad, I'm going to pretend like you're not here and you're not important to me anymore. And we don't want to ever give kids that message, because, like, you could always say, like, I need time by myself because I'm upset right now and I need to calm down before I talk to you. Yeah. Like, that's a healthy way to, because, like, we can all, like, trust me, like, there's one time where when he was like 12 or 13, that's like the asshole years, the middle school years. These kids start acting really out of pocket and crazy. And you're just like, child for sale. And I, like, had to leave because I was like, I'm about to lose my shit on you. And I'm about to say some real mean shit because you're being a little dick right now. So I'm out. I'm going to go to Marshall's. I came back with like 6 packs of shit. Frank's like, damn, girl. But instead of just being in the house and ignoring him or doing something like saying really mean stuff or taking everything out on him, like, I was like, I just need to get out of here. Like, we'll talk about this later. Like, I can't do this right now. But I think it's very unfortunate because when people can't accept the information. So as a parent, and I know we talked about this earlier, like when you can't admit, I did something to hurt you and I'm sorry because that wasn't my intention, but I'm going to apologize to you. There's a lot of people who are parents who are out there saying, well, you're a kid. I never have to apologize to you. Right. And, but it's like, but what are you telling your kids? That only certain people are worthy of being apologized to, or only certain people's behavior are accountable, and only certain people are accountable for their behavior. So I think that that's something we're trying to model is like, I messed up. Because there's been times where I've lost my shit. My temper is way worse than Frank's is, unfortunately. And I've went in there and told Mateo, like, listen, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. I'm just very frustrated and I should have told you a different way. And he's like, you know, and that's all we can do. But unfortunately, I feel like if we have parents that were never taught those skills and they're not open to learning those skills, then it leaves your relationship in this place of, do you just accept how it is and kind of like have maybe a more superficial relationship? Because you're never going to feel safe to go to those places to have those kinds of conversations if people are telling you, well, you're just overreacting. Or it didn't happen like that. Or, you know, you should just be thankful that your parents provided a roof over your head. Like, yeah, we didn't ask to be born. Okay. And we still, part of being a parent is making sure that your child has emotional safety. Like, it's not just about anybody can feed and clothe the child, but to provide the emotional safety is a part of parenting. We want to make sure that we're doing that for our kids. Yeah.
Like I said, are my parents good parents? Yeah, they're good parents to my other siblings. You know what I'm saying? They're awesome grandparents. Like, I see how much they love, you know, Honda's kids. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, props to them for being great grandparents and great parents to my siblings. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for me, I feel like I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done, and I'm not going to allow my child or let my child feel what I've felt this whole time. You know what I mean? And like I said, if my siblings are listening, which I kind of have a feeling some do, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking down to my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always say they're good parents. You know what I mean? It's just they haven't been good parents to me, you know, and I get blamed a lot because I stay away. I don't come around. Well, I don't come around and I stay away because they make me feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And why go and feel that way for a couple hours when I can just be in my own home and feel so loved by my wife and like surround myself by people who love me, like you guys, or like Rosa, like my tia Esperanza and her kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, why would I go and put myself in that situation and go feel like crap or come home crying? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'd rather just stay in my own house. You know what I mean?
It's not good, but you know, hopefully you'll create an atmosphere for your own child where they will not know that feeling.
Hell no, I have to. You know what I'm
saying? She's gonna be like, Mom, you're making me feel very anxious when you do XYZ. You're like, what? No. But you know, that's how we change. Like, that's how we break these cycles of dysfunction. I'm breaking it. Is that you're just like, we're not with the sledgehammer. Yeah. Oh, well, that's all the time we have today.
That was a long one.
It was good though. It was good. And I think it's important for, you know, like as you prepare for motherhood to like process all of these things. And, you know, I think like use the skills you're learning in therapy to help deal with some of this stuff that you have to experience, you know? So definitely I think it's good. Well, we are going to be bringing you these podcasts weekly. So just look out every Sunday. We're going to start putting them out Sundays since they're weeklies.
That way you can listen to them on the way to work on Monday.
Yeah. Or Sunday when you're laying in your backyards. Hopefully the weather's starting to get a little bit cooler. So we will see you next week when we are going to be talking about deal breakers in relationships.
That's right.
All right. Thank you for joining.
Thank you guys. Take care.
All right.